What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Green Day's hit song Longview. So Longview was released as the first single from Green Day's third and subsequent breakthrough album Dookie in 1994. Longview was released in the US for radio play on February 1st, 1994 and was released as a physical single on June 6th of the same year. The song was the band's first single to top the Billboard Modern Rock charts in the US. Because it received heavy airplay from MTV, it's credited as the song that broke Green Day into the mainstream. The song was written a few years before the album came out, most likely sometime in 1993 or 1992, but don't quote me on that because as of now I don't have a definite answer. What happened is that, according to singer Billie Joe Armstrong, he said he had come up with the lyric idea and the guitar part, and he went to Mike before leaving the house. He said, "Hey, Mike, come up with a bass line for this song." So Billie Joe went out and then came back a few hours later to find Mike high on LSD in the kitchen, playing some variation of the bass line that would end up becoming the iconic introduction bass line to Longview. And so Billy said he remembered just telling Mike, "Don't forget that," and then going to bed. In 1994, Green Day received 4 Grammy Award nominations, including Best Hard Rock Performance for Longview, so this song was a pretty big deal for them. The song also ranked at number 3 on the list of the best singles of 1994 by Rolling Stone, which, hey, maybe that doesn't mean anything, but up to this point, it was very rare for a punk band to even get any form of recognition or any play on, like, MTV, for instance. And yet here Green Day was doing just that. The music video was actually filmed in the Ashby house. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, or I'll pop up the picture of the house, or whatever the name was. It was filmed in the basement where Billie Joe and I'm pretty sure Trey were living during 1993 and 1992, I'm pretty sure. Because if you watched the video that I made on Good Riddance or the songs about Amanda lived in the upstairs floor of this house, which is pretty cool to think about. The video was directed by Mark Core and, as I'd said earlier, received a lot of airplay on MTV upon release. The music video takes place in the basement of the Ashby house where Billie Joe is just sitting and watching TV, clearly bored out of his mind. Because that also coincides with the song's lyrical content, which I will get into in a little bit. But, I'm talking about the video now. There's frequent shots also of Billy, Mike, and Trey all packed together in this same basement, playing their instrument. And as the video progresses, Billy just continues to get wound up by boredom and ends up ripping up the couch she was sitting on, letting the feathers fly everywhere. And if you think about this, yes, Dookie exploded into main success after the release of Basket Case, but Longview was the first single, and it actually did quite a bit for Green Day. And so for that reason, I think the song is a lot more important than people give it credit for. The song was named after the city of Longview, Washington, because according to Wikipedia, Billie Joe had said on Twitter, "Our friend slash roadie, Cause Hope, suggested we call our song Longview because the first time we played it, it was in Longview, Washington in spring of 1992. So I was right. It was written at least 2 years prior to Dookie's release. Now let's get into the lyrics. And for copyright purposes, I am only going to be able to use certain clips of the song, so bear with me. I'm going to try my best to analyze these lyrics. Okay?
I'll sit around and watch the tube, but nothing's on.
Alright, the opening first verse of the song really just sets up the whole core idea of this track, which is basically boredom and feeling like you are worthless. And, as we'll see within the song's protagonist, I don't know if it's Billie Joe or if it's someone else, the song's protagonist is kind of willfully letting themselves waste away because, yeah, their mom's gone, but they could get up off the couch and start doing some stuff. Force yourself to be productive like a lot of us do. But Instead, he just sits there watching TV, twiddling his thumbs, and being sick of doing the same old stuff. And so, proving my point about the fact that the protagonist is willfully sitting there, the last line of the first verse goes like this.
In a house with unlocked doors and I'm fucking lazy.
Within the chorus, we get this second idea introduced into the song, which kind of you can take it as a joke or maybe a serious thing.
Bite my lip and close my eyes. Take me away to paradise.
And so in the chorus, it's exploring the themes of masturbating to pass the time. Because I guess that's what a lot of people do when they're bored, you know? I guess maybe I'm a minority in that regard.
Peel me off this Velcro seat and get me moving. I sure as hell can't do it by myself.
Now, the second verse here kind of just re-goes over the fact that this is a prison of the protagonist's own making. Saying they sure as hell can't do it by themselves is just saying that they are too lazy to physically get up and do something else, which then it becomes kind of a catch-22 situation because you want change, but you're not willing to get up and change anything yourself. It also goes into the themes of restlessness that people get, and I'm sure a lot of young adults and teens feel a lot, and heck, maybe even older people, I don't know. And the chorus comes back in, repeating this line.
Bite my lip and close my eyes. Take me away to paradise.
And then the bridge basically goes into the reason why the protagonist won't get off his butt. And it's pretty black and white, just saying, I got no motivation. And this last line right here.
Smoking my exploration.
It's basically just saying that he'll sit around and do drugs instead of getting up and doing something to change his life. Now, verse 3 kind of is a bit of a change of pace. These lines.
My mother says to get a job, but she don't like the one she's got.
And this whole line with his mother telling him to get a job, like saying, my mother says to get a job, but she don't like the one she's got. Maybe that's because if you're surrounded by people who are ungrateful or unproductive, you kind of feel a lack of purpose and a lack of productivity yourself. Whereas when you're surrounded with someone who is more of a go-getter and getting up and getting things done and just being more encouraging, you're more motivated to do things. Instead, this protagonist is just sitting away and smoking and doing drugs. Chorus comes back in, repeating the first chorus, and then these lines kind of change it up a little bit.
Some said quit or I'll go, boy, but it's just not me.
Funnily enough, the last line right here, I'm sure that's like maybe what people tell people to, hey, you can't, do the all by myself thing or you'll go blind. But the fact he's saying, but it's just a myth is just kind of funny to me. Because, yeah, there's really nothing else this dude would rather do than just smoke pot and pull a tray cool. So, now, I guess I'm just going to close out with my thoughts. My thoughts on this song is actually really good, and it's one of the singles I feel like I kind of forget was even a single, because whereas it is kind of big, and they do play it at basically every one of their shows, it kind of is swept under when looking at the mainstream singles such as Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Good Riddance, and Basket Case. So let me know what you guys think about Longview. Put your thoughts about Longview in the comments along with this emoji so I know that you're cool. And okay, so that's it. Please like the video if you liked the video. Please consider subscribing, hitting the bell notification, and sharing with anyone you can so you can get the word out and grow the community here. All that being said, thanks again, guys, and I will see you or not see you in the next one. Adios.